Hello and welcome. Hope you're doing all right. It is a dark, dank, late February morning. Thought we'd have a quick look round just because I'm going to give it all a bit of a prune this weekend because I think spring is starting this weekend. So we'll have a look at how it all looks up to now with the winter. Never had it too bad really. A couple of probably 3 or 4 days of maximum -3. So yeah, no snow, just been like this, overcast and raining every day pretty much. Um, yeah, so starting off, not done anything on the waterfall. That'll have to wait till Easter now. Secondly, had a bit of a breakthrough on this middle bed, as you can see. You may remember me saying about where those two empty pots are, putting these bamboos in there. The idea being that when the canna has died down like it is and leaves that big open space over winter, when you're looking from the house, if you imagine those two bamboos are in those empty pots, it sort of covers up that. It gives this middle bed a bit of evergreen structure as well, so I'm not so worried about the banana dying off if it survives every year. And also from this side in the summer when we're sat up here on these seats facing that way, it will sort of frame it and hide the climbing frame a little bit. So when I got to start doing that, I thought, all right, what I'll do is I'll leave the one on the left, but I'll divide the one that's nearest us out of the bamboo, so I'll be left with three. So I started having a little bit of a mess around with it, and in the end, what made me do it was because this slide was actually to the right and those two bits of wood were to the left, as you can see the marks. On the right, there wasn't really any gap for them for people to walk through and a plant, so I moved it into the center, and that kind of opened up the gates of opportunity everywhere then. So yeah, so you can see I've got plenty of space there that they can still walk around. It was initially because I wanted it, because in the end I'd like it to be that the sort of slide comes like just appearing out of the jungle and you can't see any of the climbing frame from where we are now. I did have them right side by side at the end of the slide, but then I just thought, two bits of bamboo at the end of a slide with a 2-3-year-old going down it is probably not a good idea for his eyesight. So yeah, we've pulled them apart a little bit and they look pretty good there. You can see once I've divided, they've been in the same pots for 3 years, so once I repot them, divide them and whatnot, they should get a bit bigger and a bit bushier hopefully. Even if not, that's all good. And then I'll take the one out the front and I'll put those two in as well, and that'll give me a nice sort of 3D scope all for the year, and it solves the problem with the bamboo running as well. So that's good, and it's kind of opened up this bed now, the center bed that's been giving me a conundrum for the last 2 or 3 years. Finally got a plan for it, because as we're looking at it, the sun will come from our left. It's going to be from about 10-11 o'clock through to about 1-2 o'clock. It's covered by that tree, and then that bed will then be covered by that big bit of bamboo and possibly an other plant, and then it vanishes behind that tree. So it's actually out of the kind of midday sun till about 4 o'clock, which means that I'll probably, as you can see, get away with putting some Dixonias on the corners. And looking at this one here, those are basically in year 2, those two small Dixonias that are in the pots. This one's basically year 4. So you can see if I whack it in the ground, hopefully in a couple of years' time, they'll be right out over. And like the honeysuckle kind of arches over this walkway up where that pot is, it'd be nice if that's all covered as well. So it makes it a little bit of a jungle entry to get in there. You have to duck down. And I say that, but to be honest with you, when I was bringing those blocks up that are behind the two seats at the end for the waterfall, having to duck down underneath that while you're carrying blocks got pretty tiresome quickly, I'll tell you. But it should be all right in the summer when you're just bringing cocktails up. So yeah, so what the plan is with this middle bed, because I've got that buddleia there, what I want to do actually is that Walemi pine at the back is kind of outside of the flower bed, if you can see. I want to do the same with the Norfolk Island pine. The thing is, so I want it to like marry up with that one, if you like, symmetrical and all that. The thing is, obviously, it's not hardy, that, so it needs to be kept in a pot, and I can bring it under cover in the winter. But that buddleia is in the way because it's arching over into the patio area. So what I'm going to do is, where that buddleia is, I'm going to essentially just put it where that fatsia is and have it arching into the play area. And that will give like a nice little bit of shade as well, a little bit of evergreenness, and it'll get big and probably cover, as we're looking at it, the whole climbing frame part of it. And it's kind of, that one was kind of semi-evergreen, but yeah, we'll you know, it will just, even if it's no leaves on it, it'll be all right. So yeah, buddleia where the fatsia is, the two Dixonias, you know, where that Dixonia antarctica is on the right, and the fibrosa, just want to clear those plants out there. Got the banana in the center there, and then that will just give me the Norfolk Island pine under the buddleia, not where it is. And that leaves me still a little bit of room. One thing I want to do is get a fence post and just whack like a bird, if it dead in front of the bamboo, dead in front of the banana as it is in that little spot, you know, that little 8-inch spot in front of it. I want to just put in a fence post to make it into a bit of a bird feeder. And yeah, if the wife asks, definitely not somewhere where I can run wires from the pergola and the back fence and the climbing frame for plants to climb across in future. So yeah, and also, lastly on this, I was just thinking, why stop there? I'm going to end up with loads of little dead spots throughout the play area, and I can just sink pots in there, maybe for like the cyatheas and things like that, the young cyatheas, and then when it comes to winter, I can just lift them up and pull them out. So it kind of solves that problem as well. So yeah, we're all good on that respect. We will get into that. So let's have a look at how we are doing around the garden. May as well start down here. So yeah, this is all looking good, and the best thing yet is that we doth have new growth on the honeysuckle down there in the corner, so that's good. That seems to have survived. Yeah, got the Dixonias there all doing well. Camellia, I don't know if it's me, but I'm sure these are a bit late flowering this year. I'm sure it's the end of January, early February they flower, but you know, whatever, I know each year is different. So yeah, they look pretty good. Most important one really from a overwintering point of view, the giant honeysuckle. This is one I will be pruning back, so I don't know if you can see them. I'll try and change it, but you can see how sort of gone way too far the other way. That's quite a good illustration there. You can see how sort of wiry it's gone on the top. That's okay. We'll just take all of that back to the, you know, to the base of whatever stem it is, and then we'll let everything grow for a few months, and then when they start shooting off in all directions, I'll then give it a bit more of a shaping trim. But the most important thing, because the idea is to have this have a main branch run across the front of all this, and then all the offshoots shoot up over the top of it. This branch here has survived, which is the most important thing. So at the moment anyway, we're not quite out of the woods, but yeah, that's good. So it's still all right. It looks a little bit ropey. We had a bit of gale force winds the other day, about 3 days ago, so it knocked a lot of the leaves off. There's some of them down there, and even just down in amongst it all is like that as well. So sago palm's doing all right, covered in honeysuckle leaves. This camellia is kind of okay. Got a tetrapanax pup there somewhere. That will go probably, depending what happens with that Schefflera behind the Willemi. We'll see what happens with that. If not, the original tetrapanax, which we just saw in that bed over there, it did really well there, so I can always chuck that back in from whence it came. So yeah, Clematis armandii finally budding up. This is going to be pretty good by the time I think we look at it next, so that's good. We've got a few little flowers already popping out. Oops. And more importantly, my wires to help it climb across from there to sort of arch in the waterfall. This is now started climbing mode, hanging on it, so that's good. And then over here, we've also got new growth heading up that way, which I can tie into it. And then I give this one a bit of a helping hand the other day, just pulled it up over and twisted it around it. So that'll take a week or two for it to get its bearings, I guess. And then we'll see if that starts growing. There's two wires there, they're kind of in a triangle. So that should hopefully give that a little tunnel effect. And it may be that once all that's filled up, I can do like a zigzag across all of that. I'll obviously just have to bear in mind that they do climb up the rope cargo net thing. So yeah, but either way around here, Willemy's looking lovely. It's looking nice and don't know what other word I can use other than a bit like erect. This is nice and pert at the top there, ready to go, ready to bust. So good stuff. Lophosauria didn't have any protection on it as such. I just covered it in the base of it in leaves. So we've got a bit of frost damage here and there. We'll see how that does. Yeah, this is the Scheffler I was on about. It's kind of literally hanging on by a fingernail. So we'll see what happens with that. If not, tetrapanax can go in there. This is place spot for a Dixonia. Canna is all exposed. Don't think we've got a couple of new little shoots just peeking through. So that's good. Round here, Pilostagia verbenoides looking really good, really lush and green at this time of year, really stands out. This Scheffler is doing quite good. I think I'm going to possibly, where this log pile is to the right of the Lophosauria, where that big log is, I think I might put another Scheffler in there. I do have one, just because the as we found out over here, the Fatsias kind of act as a bit of an umbrella with the water, whereas the Schefflers, because they're a bit sparser, they kind of let the water through, which is what I'll need for all those tree funds there. Another looking good one is that maiden hair fern down there, so that should hopefully colonize down there if he's happy. Yeah, with Cyathias, this one, which hasn't had any protection on it, everything's dead on it now, but the we are getting a new Crozier come up, so hopefully we won't get any more frosts. Same with this one here. With the Fatsia, yeah, I'm going to give them a pretty hard prune. I was looking at it yesterday. I think one of those two may come out. Just because if you look at it at a wood to leaf ratio, some of them aren't so good. And just to keep it fresh, I think we've got plenty of stuff sprouting up down there. So we'll have a good look at that and see what happens. I was propagating this Hydrangea Samanii in this pot, or I thought I was, but it's actually come out of it. So that was a complete waste of time. I'll stick that down and sort it out there as we creep through under here. Just finally, Dixonia is doing all right. The Cyathea, that frond, is coming up. And we've got, two more down there ready to go. So that's good. Scheffler is looking nice there. And yeah, it's all looking okay for the most part. In other news, I finally put a bit of roof over this bit here. Doesn't quite reach the end. I didn't realize that it wasn't going to do that, but anyway, it's mainly to keep the water off. You can see where the water's been getting down, where it's green and wrecking all of this. So that's good. And then this awkward little spot there, I'll put up a couple of photos of what I did up there just to stop it coming down. This awkward little bit seems to be doing a job. And the main one which was concerning was this roof. The last bit didn't end over the gutter, so I kind of, as you can see, just bodged in with silicone and a little bit of plastic just there, just to catch the drops and send it across. So yeah, a job done. Anyway, yeah, a bit of a tidy up there, not much going on down there. Yeah, that's about it really. Just going to, next thing is going to be obviously split the waterfall, give everything a bit of a prune. Yeah, then we'll start thinking about doing some planting maybe towards after the next video. Anyway, hope you're having a good time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.